Hello, welcome to ZIM Capture. I'm inventor Dan Zen. And ZIM is zimjs.com is an open source framework to make interactive media on the HTML canvas using JavaScript and Create.js. In this capture, we're going to take a look at the Pages class, which happens to be in the Pages module. And this will help us organize our pages and be able to swipe between them. And along with hotspots, we've got a central navigation. It's fairly cool and certainly helpful on mobile and even on desktop as well to go from one page to another if you have a number of pages. Okay, let's take a look at some code then. What we're going to do is we'll use our code that we used from the last ZIM Capture on the layout class. And if I just open that up in a browser and take a look, here it is. So we had a layout. We used a layout object to lay this page out. If we hit B, that might be what it looked like on a on a horizontal mobile app, that kind of thing. And this we put in one page. So let's take a look. And what we'll do is we'll build a second page and then we'll swipe between the two pages. So here's the layout class. And if we take a look up here, there's the page that we put it in, this container. So that's the first step for laying out pages, is you want to put them in each page in their own container. So let's make another page here. Var page 2 is equal to a new, container schmainer. Let's just make a new rectangle for the second page. But we would normally make a new container here, stage width, comma, stage height, and we'll add that to the stage for now. So that is add to the stage, semicolon. So add to being a new method available in ZIM 4.6. So now we have a second page. Do we set a color? Let's do color to frame dot blue, for instance. And if we view this in a browser, refresh here, now we've got a blue page sitting on top. But just be careful, watch what happens. Oh, the blue page didn't scale. So we'll want to make sure that we scale page 2 down here. Now, this is one of the neat things. Oh, I didn't show you the layout. We're resizing the layout. And if we had a bunch of pages in a bunch of different layouts, like as in each page had its own layout, we can add the layouts to a layout manager, much like we added a grid and a guide to a grid and a guide manager. So we can say var layout manager is equal to a new layout manager. Looks like I forgot to tell you about this last time, huh? So there it is, and then we say layout manager dot add the layout that we made, the layout, like so. And if we had other layouts for every layout that we make on different pages, or even on the same page, but probably on different pages, we would add those layouts to the layout manager, and then with one layout manager dot resize, that would work. So let's just confirm that. I don't know what happened to our blue page, but now, oh, I think I do know. I think there might be an error. So layout manager not defined. Layout man. Oh, I know what that is. A new ZIM dot layout manager. The layout manager of ZIM, and we refresh here. There's our blue page. But you can see that the layout is still scaling. Our blue page isn't, but there's the layout still scaling in the background. So isn't that neat? Did you catch that? Hopefully, hopefully everybody who's watching that layout ZIM Capture will also be watching the Pages ZIM Capture. I assume that that's probably the case. So we made a new layout, we made a layout manager, and we added the layout to the layout manager. Then we can scale multiple pages all without difficulty. However, our second page that we're adding here is sort of like a very quick page. We have not thrown into a layout, and therefore it's not part of the layout manager either. So we'll just manually scale it down here the old-fashioned way, page 2 dot scale 2, and this allows us to, well, you can of course go page, the very old-fashioned way would be page 2 dot scale x equals stage dot width, page 2 dot scale y equals stage dot height. Okay, and that would scale this to, cover the screen all the time. Well, we're going to use a scale 2. We're going to say, hey, scale it to the stage 100% and 100% and do both of those rather than fit it. Do you recall the difference between the fit? Let's say I'll show you what the fit looks like. There we are, nor are we centering it, so it's not going to look terribly great. But if I change this like that, note that it's the height. And if I change this one, it's doing 100% of either the width or the height, whichever one it fits in, keeping the same aspect ratio. So that's not really what we want. We want to, well, in this case, we want to scale both of those. So we say both, not width. Scale both of those to 100%, and we refresh here. And now our page is scaling completely to the width. Okay, now this is just a demonstration. We would probably, if we've used a layout manager for the first page, we'd probably use it being used, or sorry, if we used a layout class on the first page, we'd probably use it again on a second page, and the layout manager would handle all of the resizings for all of those pages. But in this case, we're just faking it, and there we have a second page added. Now, the pages class. So var pages is equal to a new zim.pages. Remember the zim this time. There she be. Now, the pages class, or pages object, a little bit different, as in we add the pages object to the stage, and we don't add any of the other pages to the stage. So it is pages.add to, or we could use stage.add child, pages.add to stage. The add to method, by the way, is also, oh, maybe that's what I told you already. The add to was added in ZIM 4.6. So we're adding the pages to the stage. We do not add the other ones to the stage. So nope, we let the pages handle that. And up here, this first page, do not add to the stage. Nope. So none of our pages gets added to the stage. And now, if we save this, we should see only the one page being added. Oh, except we didn't complete our pages object. Okay, so let's go see what we can put in there. If we take a look at the documentations and type in pages, here we are. This is the stuff that it can add. So pages, pages handle going between pages. Make a pages object, add it to the stage. All your pages then, from then on, are added and manipulated inside the pages object. Pages allow you to set the destination pages for swipe events. Other events like buttons can use the go method, so go to a certain page. And all of this stuff as well. There's transitions, so things like slide transitions and so forth can be done, or fades. All right, so I'm just going to paste our parameters here, as long as I copied those. The holder, so that is the stage. The pages, right, so pages is a bit longer. We'll separate this out. There's that telephone that I'm going to ignore because we're most of the way through this. Aren't I just so popular? I wonder who that is. Oh, that would be my wife. Poor thing. She's maybe wondering if I already shopped and got milk. Poor thing. Oh, there's 4. That should be it. Unless it's an absolute emergency, and then she'll call back again. Okay, so for the pages, we're now wanting to pass in an array, and that array will have an object for each page. So the object for each page we put in here. Let's go take a look. There's the parameters. That was for, oh, this is not taking a look at all. There we want here to take a look at what that looks like. So it is the page, which page it is, and how we're swiping. So those are the two parameters for each one. So let's put that in here. Which page? So in the first case, it's the page is page 1. Or actually, I don't think we numbered it, did we? Page, just page. Should we? Yeah, okay. Well, yeah, we've got it throughout here. We'll just leave it as page. So the first page is page, and the swipe for that is an array of, it's going to be, oh, wrong place again. It is going to be, here's the swipe information. So I'll just copy that and paste it in here. So which page do we go when we swipe to the right? And which page do we go when we swipe to the left? Which page do we go to when we swipe down? And which page do we go to when we swipe up? So when we swipe to the right, we will go to page, let's see, swipe to the right. What does that mean? Swipe to the right. You can never remember that one, huh? It's like, I think that means which page is, oh, it's actually not that. It's which page is to the right. So my apologies. It flips it. Obviously, it doesn't work. We just flip it. But this, I thought it would be easier to visualize it as which page is on the right. So which page is on the right? Well, there's no page on the right to swipe to, so that's null. Which page is on the left? This is what I did. I don't know. We'll go to page 2. Page 2, and then null here, and null there. So is that what that means? Let's see. Left. I'm swiping to the left. No, it is swiping. Oh, my apologies. It is swiping. So back to the first way. So when we swipe to the right, oh yeah, when we swipe to the right, it would be like going backwards. So this is like going backwards. And this is like going forwards. Maybe you should have adjusted those anyway. But we got a swipe to the right will give us nothing because that's a swipe to the right. A swipe to the left will give us page 2. Ah, isn't that fun? Okay, so next we have another page. So I'll just copy this. Another page, and this one is page 2. And we'll go to page, just page. And here we'll go to nowhere, null. So this is a pretty basic layout, I suppose. We've got 2 pages, 1, 2. We're going to go to page 2 when we swipe to the left. So when my mouse goes to the left, I'm going to the page that's on the right-hand side, which is page 2. When I'm on page 2, though, if I swipe to the right, then I'm going to go back to page 1. All right. Now, let's try it. We save this. We refresh here. Hoodoomp. And we swipe to the right, hey, and we swipe to the left, hey. Now we didn't see any transitions, so shall we try a transition? Transition, comma. Slide is one. There's also a transition speed, so you can adjust that. And a transition table, what the heck is that? I think that makes a table of different transitions, but you can also you read about that in the docs. You can also set the transitions, I believe, in here. Maybe that's what the transition table was doing. So you can do different transitions per page. So we refresh here, we should see a transition. Oh yes, look at that. Shall we slow down that transition? Shall we slow down that transition, comma, what does this mean? About 1 second. And we refresh here. I think it's probably something like 5. Oh yeah, that's a slow one. Cool, huh? Now one thing to note is if I'm on the background here and I try and transition, nothing's going on. So for a transition to happen, there needs to be a background on your page. Here it's okay. Like here it's okay, but on here it's not okay. So another thing that I forgot to show you about the layouts is the background color, which we had set null. You can set the background color to something like frame dot. What colors do we have in there already? I can't remember. Green we've got already in there. How about pink? I don't think we have any pink. So this is an overall background color. Refresh here. So now the overall background color is pink, and now we can swipe on that, which is handy. Okay. You can also set the background colors for the regions, by the way, with just background color. Let's do that for the nav. Here's the nav, background color, colon, frame dot, purple, comma, and then the width. That could be any color, like quote purple. Refresh. And now we've got, we've probably changed the color of the dial there, but you see that the region, and by the way, if you, normally you would obviously turn these, the bounds off, and that's what you would be looking at. I think we'd want a color for the dial. Let's change the color of the dial. You're probably going, oh, come on, Danzen. There's the dial, and we can just pop in here, color, colon, frame dot green dial. Oh yeah, frame dot green dial. Refresh. Cool. Remove the bounds. So if you don't want the bounds to show, by the way, at any time, oh yeah, that might be a good idea. How to show so that it's got no bounds. I actually can't remember how to do that. I was going to say you could just comment out the layout, but you can dispose the layout. So that would be, I've got a layout, there's my layout manager. I think you can just go layout dot dispose like that. It would be in the documentation, and now is it still laying out? It's still laying out, still working, but there's no bounds to be seen. Oh, isn't that nice looking? Now let's go to the next page. Oh, right, I forgot. Did you see that? Ew, what is that? What's going on there? I changed the size of that, and heck, that's not working properly. Ah, right. Good, I'm glad that I noticed that. Pages also needs to be scaled so that its transitions work properly. So down here where we've got the layout manager resizing, we also want pages.resize like that. And if you had grids and guides, you'd have grids and guides resizing. So it'd probably be some, you know, oh, I thought we did have grids. No, grids and guides were in a previous capture. So normally we would not have this. We'd not be hard coding a scale, and you would end up with layout manager.resize, pages.resize, grid manager.resize, and what's the other one? Guide manager.resize. And that would be it for your resizing. That's pretty tidy, all considered. You can have like dozens and dozens, even hundreds of pages in here with just those resizes. And if you're finished with the guide, the grids and the guides, you would probably remove those. You can dispose those too, or just delete them. So now that the pages are resizing, let's take a look here. Now the pages themselves, we don't need to worry about the pages themselves resizing, but the thing is, for transitioning purposes, it needs to know how big the stage is. So now I can do it. There we go. That works just fine. If I reduce the size, it still looks good, and if I bring it to here, it still looks good. So isn't that nice? Now, there's more to do with pages, but tell you what, we'll take a look at those when we look at hotspots. There's different events that you can use with pages. There's different, if we physically wanted to just press a button and go to one page to another rather than here where we're swiping, that's really easy to do in our button event. We just say, oh, well, shall I show you that one? May as well show you that one. So what do we have in this thing up here? We had an ad. Let's make it go to the second page when we click the ad. Okay, so that would look like, well, I think we can do it up here. add dot on click, comma function, and squigglies, and then pages dot go. I can do it. Go, and we want to go to page 2, like that. Now you can also specify a direction, I believe, and that is to I'd be swiping to the I'd be swiping left, I think, like that. Hopefully it's the direction is like that. We'll see if it ends up animating the wrong way. We'll know why. So we refresh here. I press on that. It did. Okay, so this one is the sort of opposite. So, oh no, that's right. I swiped to the right. So once again, I got mixed up. We're swiping to the right, aren't we? Yeah. No, we're swiping to the left to get there. So this is the page on the right. So this is how that one's working. Okay, so pages.go. What else was there? I just want to quickly set add dot cursor, just so that we know we can press on it, is equal to pointer. Okay, well, let's save that up and refresh here. We refresh. I click on that and off it goes. Swipe back, or I swipe. So I'm swiping to the left and it goes to the right. But this is the page on the right, and this, maybe, you know what? Maybe what I've got is in the documentations, when I copied that, it is entirely possible that I have mixed this one up. You know, who knows? So let's see, or is it right? Let's see, when I swipe to the left, this is swipe to the left. Oh, okay, that's what's messing me up. This is a swipe to the left. Oh, no, it isn't. Swipe to the left goes to the picture. Anyway, you probably can keep that straight. I may have flipped it, and perhaps I should look into that. I'll look into that for a future event, but hopefully, hopefully I didn't get it wrong. But isn't that nice? I mean, aside from her little issue there, that is pretty easy page control. I know that this is easy page control. Look at what we're looking at here, right here. There it is. This is the page control. Just delete that. Have a look at that. That gets us going from one page to another. Do you know what you have to go through on Apple to go from one page to another? You would not believe it. It is like, oh, it's just unbelievably complex. Unbelievably complex. And this is much easier. I'm talking about like 3,000 times more lines than that, or more characters. You know, it's like, oh. So anyway, there we are here, here at ZIM Capture. We were taking a look at the Pages module. We did see how to use the Go, and in the upcoming capture, we'll take a look at hotspots. So how we can consolidate all of the navigation throughout all of these pages using the hotspots class. Ciao, I'm inventor Dan Zen here at zimjs.com. Bye-bye.